Welcome back to the channel, everybody. We have a lot of information coming out today. First, let's just get this out of the way. The war between the banks rages on, and this is why I say they're looking forward to treasuries and ETFs and RWAs because they believe they can take money from each other, value from each other. They don't like each other, although albeit they do work with each other. Now, I've been saying that for quite some time, positing that idea, but it's based on transcripts that we've read, you know, the small, medium-sized banks going against the larger banks, It's well known they like to squash the smaller banks and then take them over. This is not a secret. But you see this spilling over into the mainstream media. We've got them right where we want them. This article is from Yahoo Finance's titled U.S. Wait. Ooh, I almost gave you the second article. My apologies. Hold on now. The first bank, State Street roasts JP Morgan's biggest ETF. So, yeah, of course, there's always the basic idea. Of course, they're in competition. It's business. No, it runs much deeper than that's what I'm trying to convey. It runs much deeper than that. And that's beneficial to the new financial system. They're in a massive amount of competition. One has to have a better system than the other. That's why a lot of them going towards the XRPL. They're going towards XRP treasuries. And yet you see JP Morgan system floundering. Oh, yeah, they did this one thing recently with one bank. That's nothing. They're highly siloed, cut off from the world. They're going to have to acquiesce and bend the knee as well. There's no way around it. They need bridge currencies. One. This is built into the XRPL. Anybody can read those documents we have long ago, the white papers we read for XRP. We read the white papers for Hedera, which was mind-blowing, by the way. They're built for this. Liquidity, bridge currency aspect, and you know the rest, Chainlink, Solana, XLM, Stellar, etc. So they're going against each other, roasting each other, but that's the superficial aspect of something that runs much deeper. Now, building off of that, then we go here. Look at this, folks. There's so much happening. Tell me this. Why is all this happening right before the holidays when no one's paying attention? Everybody's on the road right now. They're releasing so much when they know people are not paying attention. Not releasing so much, not just that. They're doing so much while people are not paying attention. Listen to this. And I want to just put something out there, okay? I don't expect you to agree with this. You don't have to. But I see a lot of things happening where it appears to be a setup to justify the implementation of the new financial system, of which the mainstream banks and non-banking financial institutions, large and small, believe that they will be the main beneficiaries of the explosion in value that is to come. Not financial advice, just my humble opinion. This article is titled, U.S. Banks Scramble to Assess Data Theft After Hackers Breach Financial Tech Firm. Now, most people will write this off. I don't. Folks, okay, let me put this out there to you. And yes, you can reject this. What is the likelihood that these banks, and I've seen this with other institutions and even countries over, as you know, I am a historical and philosophical enthusiast. So, you have to go through history a lot to understand a lot of the different contexts of philosophy that was given at different times. But I've seen this throughout history where one will sabotage themselves in order to justify the implementation of something beneficial. What's the likelihood of these banks hacking themselves? Oh, the banks, it doesn't mean that the banks themselves actually did it. They can pay people to hack them, compromise the legacy system. And as that system is compromised, they throw their hands in the air and say, guys, we need to implement this new technology so this doesn't happen again. That makes sense? Hey, God, there was they hacked us, so we need stronger security. We need AI to monitor. We need DLT for liquidity security to make sure the entire system doesn't go down just because one piece got taken down. You can't take down the entire system. You know, DLT, you take down one piece, the rest of it keeps running like nothing happened. Don't forget that. They want that. They desire it. So once more, I ask you, what is the likelihood that a lot of these negatives that are going on right now are self-imposed? Once more, to justify the implementation of the new financial system. I ask that. So another part of that is a lot of what's been happening lately, and I'll read you just a little tidbit after this, just bear with me. Hackers will go into certain systems, take certain information, and then hold it. I'm not trying to say this way so I don't run afoul of YouTube. They'll make you pay money to get that information back. You get what I'm saying? So the banks can use that to justify. If they did it themselves, it's an inside job. They could use that as justification. Look, we don't want this to happen anymore. We have to protect our clients. We have to protect our data. We need this new technology. We need DLT, new financial system. We need AI. We need quantum computing. We need military grade security. Really? You mean like the type of security that Ripple was claiming they're working on right now? I don't know if they concluded with that or not. You mean like the type of security that Hedera has, military grade security they had 2 years ago? Could you imagine the type of security they have now? Then it makes perfect sense why those two companies are working together, Ripple and Hedera, knowing little by little they're dominating the chessboard. I'm just asking questions. That's all. I'm not here to convince anyone of anything. You have to always say that because there's always new people coming in. And even when there's not new people, there's always people that they're going to go against you every single time. I appreciate that. I respect that consistency. But that's why you must restate things. All right. So you should already know that. So you have that there. Now, look at this, folks. I'm trying to watch the time here. All of this information is coming out. So now let's just sprinkle in a little bit of basic XRP information. But this is very interesting here. It says here, Bitwise CEO hails XRP ETF's impressive inflows. Let's read a little tidbit from that. Oh, wait, my apologies, folks. I'm moving a little bit fast. I got a lot going on. You know, this is round holiday season. There's a lot going on. I'm absolutely exhausted as well. So my apologies. I'm jumping around a little bit, but bear with me. I'm going to give you the best of the best. And if you like this type of content, take those powerful hands. The power is yours. It's not mine, it's yours. And hit that like button. All right. Before we move on to this ETF information, let me return and keep my word. I said I would read a little tidbit from the U.S. bank scramble to assess the theft after hackers breach financial tech firm article. And that's exactly what I'm going to do. My father always told me, he said, Mick, keep your word. Don't you break your word, Mick. Have honor. Yeah. And I follow what my father said, period. It's the same way with fighting. Believe me, if he said, hey, if he said, hey, Mick, go fight this person or do this or whatever, you're going to spar this person, it's going to be done. So if I could do that, then how much easier is it just to follow simple instructions? Life instructions. That's easy. Several U.S. banking giants. I had an interesting youth. I could tell you that much for sure. Several U.S. banking giants and mortgage lenders are reportedly scrambling to assess how much of their customers' data was stolen during a cyber attack. You stoke those fires because that's going to incentivize people to agree with you when you want to implement these new systems. We need unbreakable tokenized deposits. We need unhackable stable coins and tokenized deposits and digital systems with triple and quadruple layered security and encryption. You don't see that coming down the pipe as we read this. You don't see that. You don't think they're capable of self-sabotage, knowing that this system they no longer want to be a part of, knowing that this system is on fire, burning to the ground. You think they're just sitting inside the proverbial house, just aflame, they're going down with the flame, just going to just perish? No. All right. If that is the case, and they're not going to just sit there and perish, what is it, pray tell, you believe that they're doing? What activities have they been taking? You believe it's just a simple, superficial things? We're just looking after 5 years or so, but maybe about 4 of dabbling in DLT. You believe that they're still we're experimenting with it, guys. You believe that? I don't believe them at all. Not 1 second. Actually, I think that's quite nescient for them to even put forth that we're still in an experimentation phase and we're still looking into it. We have a little bit longer to go. No, stop. No, you don't. No, you don't. I do believe, and listen, there's a multitude of different pathways here. I'm not saying what I'm positing is the be all end all. I'm not saying that. I'm merely presenting ideas, the ones that are coming to the forefront of my mind, nothing more. But there's a myriad of pathways here, and the financial system is not beyond self-sabotage. It's not beyond deception. You think, no, wait a minute. I believe I had an article here. We have a lot of good articles today. I told you they dumped stuff on us today. FDIC. Ooh, we're going to get to that one. That's a good one. Keep in mind what I just said about deception. Oh my, I should have made that article first. Hang in there with me. Let's get to this ETF information. Let's knock this ETF information out, and we'll get to some real serious stuff, okay? By the way, once more, if you like this type of content, boom, take those powerful hands, boom, 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 hit that like button. Bitwise CEO hails XRP's impressive ETF inflows. I messed that all up. Holy smokes. I'm about to go get some food in me. Don't worry about it. And in my mind, will be working much better. Bitwise CEO Hunter Horsley highlighted every time. It makes me think of Hunter. No disrespect, sir. I mean, no disrespect. It makes me think of Hunter Hearst Helmsley, and that's not disrespectful because Triple H is one of the absolute most entertaining, greatest wrestlers I've ever seen ever. In that era, he was in that era with Stone Cold, the GOAT, greatest of all time. In my humble opinion, the greatest of all time wrestler, Stone Cold Steve Austin. He was in that class with him. The Rock was probably the second GOAT of all time. In my humble opinion, I know, you got your other very influential people, but those are my people. Stone Cold, Goldberg, Rock, Triple H. They put on a great show when I was younger. Anyway, that's what I think when I hear his name, Hunter Horsley. Highlighted impressive inflows for the firm's XRP ETF, launched on November 20th with a 0.34% management fee. The ETF waived the fee for the first month on the first $500 million in assets under management, despite launching during a volatile crypto market. With XRP dropping below $2, the ETF has attracted investors. Okay, listen, that's positive news. That's great. I'm not an ETF guy. I'm a bank money guy from the beginning. So that's the square that I stand on. I'm here for that bank money, bank news, bank information, interbank payments. Perfection when it comes to those trillions that are going to be, in my humble opinion, doesn't mean it's yours. I only speak for myself. That's going to be handed over because they're in a very precarious position right now, in my humble opinion. Let's go here. Man, let's go here. What are you trying to do here? You don't see the setup? So we talked about State Street versus JP Morgan, which is just one show of conflict within the banking system, right? They're setting each other up. So then we talked about this U.S. bank scramble and the whole, idea of the possibility, in my humble opinion, they're paying external entities to hack them, to justify implementation of certain things. Then you have this all plays together. That's why I had to recap that and bring it back so it all fits together in this puzzle that we're building. Then you have this. Look at this. We spoke about similar actions. You tell me why they're doing this. U.S. regulators relax key bank capital rule. U.S. regulators move to relax capital requirements that lenders have said limit their ability to act as intermediaries in Treasury's market. Folks, they've been loosening up a lot of things that in future time, in my humble opinion, could become highly, highly problematic. Why? Can you tell me why? It's absolutely mind-blowing. If you wanted to bring a system down, you allow, I'm just playing with ideas. There's not a guarantee, and I don't believe in fear. I was never taught, oh, you fear this, be afraid. I was actually taught, and a lot of you were also, be truthful. You were taught to fear nothing. Am I right or am I wrong? You were taught to fight the bully. Am I right or am I wrong? You didn't have a chance to be afraid. You had to go out there, and you were probably good. If you didn't defend yourself or fight, that bully was going to knock your head off. But your father and your mother, both of them, were standing right there, say, hey, defend yourself. And you had to. And then they thrust you into some kind of crazy combat sport, right? You know it. Come on. Just be truthful. They put you in football. They put you in boxing. Yeah. Remember when you ate your first jab? Boom. You're like, ooh, what was that? Remember when you first got your noodles rocked? It's with your brain, boom, and it's like the whole room is just spinning. Remember that? So don't superimpose that on me. To each his own. So when I say these things, it's not about generating any fear. I don't care about that. I don't feel that way. If I see a lion, I want to know where the lion is. If there's a lion in the neighborhood, tell me about it, because I want to know. I need to defend myself. I'm not running from anything. So I'm just sharing my mentality. All right. So it's not about generating any fear. Now, back to what I'm saying. If you wanted to bring down the system, you would allow every single problem to exacerbate, to expand, until it would appear at some point in the future, because people are going to forget these activities, period. They're not going to remember. And I get it. They have a lot on the table. They have children to take care of. They have other family members to take care of themselves. They're going on vacation. They have their businesses to run. They have to go to work. They're on the road. There's a lot in life to be thinking about. This is going to be forgotten. So at some point in the future, it will appear that whoopsie, right? I got that from somebody close to me. They always say, whoopsie, oh, the system is just collapsing. What are we ever going to do? I think we have a system to implement a little bit deeper. Even if let's say the implementation didn't happen, then they use it to justify the implementation of various aspects of the new financial system, to push it on the public, to push it on companies that didn't want it, to bring in those stalwarts that are sitting on the side and saying, I don't want to go in. I don't want to be a part of it. I'm just going to sit on the outside and be a thorn in your side. No, they'll be forced in. If some of it is already implemented, this gives them the opportunity to become even more of an integral piece, to weave themselves a little bit deeper into the legacy system. Folks, these questions have to be asked. And also, I'll say this. Did you see the members only video release yesterday? That was serious business. I reshot it. It was already done a few days ago, and I didn't think it was good enough. I went back, reshot it. I feel like I did the information better. I included more information. And I say that because I want to say something, but I can't because it's for the members. But if you see this and then you see that, there's something you need to hear in there. Watch that thing from beginning to end. You can do it over a couple of days, whatever you want to do. But I'm telling you, from beginning to end, there is information in there that's powerful. It's my humble opinion. You don't have to do anything. I'm just saying, if you see that and you see this, alarm's going to start going on. Whoa, what's that? Whoa, what's going on? Then you'll understand. You'll understand. All right. Now, I'm going to leave that here because I can't go too deep with this now. But once more, U.S. regulators, relax. Key bank capital rule. Where do you think this could go? Look into everything that is phrased this way that has been coming up in the last 2 months. I promise you're going to find something unbelievable. There's so many unbelievable things. That's what we've been covering in the members only section. All right, I'm going to leave that there. I'm getting too excited. Okay, let's go here. I'm going to go to the next article. Let's go here. We have more. Wait a minute. Look at this deception. Ooh, I did not put my hand up for that last article. I might not know where to put the chapter. Sometimes it happens. Sometimes I don't put in a chapter. I might make a mistake. Last night, I believe I forgot to clip out a piece. I had a piece of skin come off my lip. And that happens sometimes. My face will peel. My lips will peel. And it comes off. And you're like, you got to just get that off real quick. And I meant to clip that. I probably didn't clip it. That happens. I'm a person. That's just real life. All right. So, but here, I'm not going to forget this one. This article is titled, ECB reviews claims Deutsche Bank downplayed financial risks. FT reports. Folks, once again, see, I can't say something I want to say. Watch that members only video. This is deception, folks. They waited. This came out today. I was out there in the world. I'm conducting business. I'm doing things. And it looked like a lot of people were gone already for the holidays, right? Why release this today? They don't want people to know that the banking systems globally, we've been talking a lot about the deceptions in the U.S. banking system, but in the global banking system, ECB, UK, China, Japan, the ones that are powers, US, there's deceptions in every single one of them that is setting up for a major problem. And that major problem is going to allow gold to skyrocket. That's a fact. Bank coins like XRP to skyrocket. They're going to weave their way into that system so deeply because they're going to need an externalized liquidity source. They're going to need the value you can generate from RWA and treasuries, et cetera, ETFs. They need that as well. And they need bridge currency. So, I mean, it's like almost over quadruple reasons why XRP should explode given the downfall of this system. Just my humble opinion, not financial advice. Okay, so that's two. There was a third I was going to say, and now I can't remember what it was. But those first two are just that powerful. But there's deception all over the place. Let me read this little tidbit to you, okay? This is what it says. The European Central Bank is examining claims that Deutsche Bank is underplaying risk. I know you're going to get tired of hearing this in this video. It's just spooky. I covered certain information that would make all the more sense to you in that members only video. And now today this is released on November 25th. Today's the 25th. That members only video, I was accumulating that information for an entire week. And that's only part one of that video series. That's part one. I got a second part. Folks, let me finish reading this. There's a deception going on that's setting up for a massive contagion. And I do believe, doesn't mean my belief is the be all end all when it comes to truth. I do believe some people in the ECB don't want that to happen. I do. But there's nothing they can do about it. There's nothing. Anyway, it says here, the European Central Bank is examining claims that Deutsche Bank underplaying risks in its balance sheet and gave a misleading picture of its financial health. They lied. Just say that. They lied. They lied to the people. And oh my word, there's lying going on. And when you see who's helping them lie, it should be an eye opener. It should be mind blowing. So yes, gold, XRP, and Bitcoin should benefit from this activity at some point in the future if things play out a certain way, as is leaning us to see to believe that there's a possibility of mass contagion and bank collapses at some point in the future. If not, they're going to need to rapidly, and it doesn't look like they're moving at great speed, rapidly integrate with the new financial system to attempt to mitigate some of these problems that are going to, it looks like, inexorably occur. It says, and gave misleading picture of his financial health. The Financial Times reported on Tuesday. So they lied. Let me ask you a question. Members, this is not for you, members. Are they the only institution that's lying? I'm just asking questions. Wait a minute. Let me ask you another question. Oh, I'm about to lead you down a deep rabbit hole that most people will never know. The members know. How many institutions are using, I'll use the phrase facade, that are using a certain facade, financial institutions, to lie? How many? Throw a number out there. Yeah, just have fun with it. Throw a number out there. I guarantee you couldn't believe the real number. I'll leave that there. Let's see if we can get a little bit of Bitcoin news in here. I hope you all have a fantastic time with your families. If you're going to be spending time with people, if not, I hope you have a fantastic time alone. All right. Hey, I'm here. Hey, you know what I do. I'm going to try to make sure these videos are out for you and we'll spend some time together if you have no one else to spend time with. All right. All right. I'm here. So now, Bitcoin has some, that's my little, let me do my little dance. Hold on. Live a little bit. Now do the dance with me. Put your hands together like this. It's like you remember that dance that Tupac did in, now I'm about to date myself. I'm about to age myself, right? What was that video? I Get Around. Remember that? I get around. Round and round, round it go. Classic. But anyway, he did a little dance in there like that. I call it the Tupac. Anyway, this is like a modified Tupac if he was older, right? So Bitcoin has some good news coming. What? You didn't know about Tupac's dance? Stop playing. I just put you up on some game. That's what the youth say. I got that from my young people, right? So I put you up on game. So now, Bitcoin's looking good. That's why I'm excited. It's looking good in this setup. Metaplanet, here we go. Metaplanet doubles down $130 million loan to buy more Bitcoin. Oh, man, they're so bullish. They're taking out loans to buy more Bitcoin. Why? Why? And I said it once more. You don't have to agree with me. I'm not here for that. I merely present information. They understand, I believe, the catalysts, the positive catalysts are very strong, and they remain. Countries want Bitcoin, means that price is going up. Large asset managers want Bitcoin. They love it. They had a good experience with it this first time. Despite any selling, they love it. They're coming back for more in big time. That's going to ensure the price goes up. There's countless thousands of businesses that have indicated they want to get into Bitcoin, and that's going to send the price skyrocketing. A central bank has bought Bitcoin now, and that sort of gets their feet dipped in the waters and shows us this is real. Central banks are going to touch Bitcoin. That's going to send the price skyrocketing at some point. When, I don't know. I just know the future is bright, and that's why this type of activity is taking place. All right, so that's why they're willing to take that risk. I'll take out a loan, I'll get some Bitcoin. That's up to them, but that's what they're doing. And I believe that's why. It says choosing leverage over liquidation, Metaplanet borrows $130 million against its BTC to double down on its Bitcoin first strategy. All right, we'll see if it works out. I believe that it will, long term anyway. Bear with me, I had a little air in my chest. I had to pause. Metaplanet, Japan's largest corporate Bitcoin holder, secured their XRP. When I hear Japan, I just think XRP. They're setting Japan up, and their financial system needs the new financial system in every possible way. But let's continue on. Japan's largest corporate Bitcoin holder secured a new $130 million loan to purchase additional BTC despite sitting on over $635 million in unrealized losses. Holy smokes. Woo-wee. I'm just going to leave that there. Unrealized losses. Holy smokes. Are you good? You okay? I'm talking to this institution. Let's keep going. The company disclosed the borrowing in a November 21st filing under a previously established $500 million credit facility announced in late October. I always say October like October. The lender remains undisclosed at the counterparty's request. I'm hungry. You hungry? What kind of food you hungry for? I'm gonna tell you what I could go for, man. And I know I couldn't eat all this food, but I'm just gonna give you a list. General Tso's chicken. Oh, I need some General Tso's chicken in my life with some fried rice. Vegetable fried rice. Oh, yes. I know somebody out there right now. I already know what you're going to say. You say it to me all the time. Oh, Mick, don't eat that stuff. You got to eat healthy. I understand that. I know what you're going to say. I get it, and I respect that. Double Italian cheeseburger. Oh, wait a minute. Don't you dare test me. Don't you dare test me. Well, I can hear you. What? No, I can't hear you, but it's fun. Play along. You're asking me, Mick, you want the straight fries on your Italian cheeseburger? Or do you want the circle cut? Is that a what? If you don't put that, we're going to have to rumble. If you don't put those circle cut, very delicious potatoes on my Italian cheeseburger. I go for Italian cheeseburger. Oh, man. I'm not pizza. Pizza sort of popped in my mind just now. You're like, Mick, you want to eat all the unhealthy stuff? I'm just talking about right now. Just right now. Come on. Let me have something. That's what I'm thinking about. Maybe a little bit of pie. What kind of pie do you like? We'll get back to the news. Hold on a second. We have to vibe for a second. Come on. You're my people. Come on now. What kind of pie do you like? Like apple. Everybody likes apple, right? What's apple? I like apple pie. I like pumpkin. Yeah, well, I'm going to go alternative here. I'm going to tell you pies that some of my best pies. Get that chocolate bean pie. You never heard of that before? Oh, it's like a gift from the greatest of places. That chocolate bean pie. It's rare too. That chocolate bean pie, and warm it up. Oh my word. What other pie is good? Sweet potato pie. Oh, wait. I don't know what I was doing right there. I'm just making it up as I go along. That sweet potato pie, that chocolate bean pie. I don't need any other pie. I don't need any other pie. Right? Right. And what's that one with it's like this big peanut looking things on it. What's that one called? It's really good. My word, for the life of me, I can't remember what it is. Is very brown. It has like these big peanut looking things all over it. Well, whatever that one is very good. I can't remember what it is. All right, we're going to close out here, folks. We're going to close out here with a little bit of, I had a little bit of gold news. I had a lot of gold news, as a matter of fact. But I'm just squeezing this little tidbit because I love gold almost more than any other asset. So let's hear a little bit of good news about gold. This article is titled, Bank of America sees gold prices likely to hit Oh, I hit my microphone and I had air in my chest. My apologies. Appreciate you respecting that. Bank of America sees higher gold prices likely to hit $5,000 an ounce in 2026. So now there's a bunch of different companies calling for $5,000 gold. Yes, I do believe it is possible. It says this: Bank of America forecasts gold prices could reach $5,000 per ounce by 2026 with an average price of $4,538 in 2025, driven by factors like persistent U.S. fiscal deficits, geopolitical fragmentation, and central bank accumulation. Wow. Yes. And once more, if you haven't seen this, you can look this up, a little Google search. You hear about China. They're saying, I'm going to give you the article, matter of fact. Let me give you the article. I'm giving you bang for your, I can't say bang for your buck, but I'm giving you I'm giving you as much as I can right now. I'm trying to give you good quality. Look up this article because we're not going to have time to cover it. China's 2025 gold purchases likely are 10 times higher than the official 25 tons. Real total reserve tops 5,000 tons. This is coming from Sakjin. Why do they need so much gold? And that shows you the gold is going to continue. And they're serious about gold accumulation for some reason. What's the reason? If you know the reason, you know why gold is probably going to go much higher, probably much higher than $5,000 as a matter of fact. But $5,000 right now is the safe. That's the safe estimation. So now that you have that information, what are you going to do with it? I know what I'm going to do with it. So until next time, everybody, let's get to the money.